Salutations, greetings, and many great alolas. This is Cottonmouth255, the Spore Serpent, and I'm back at Brooklet Hill for more Pokémon Moon. Last time we completed the majority of the stuff in Brooklet Hill, but ran out of recording time right as I was going to challenge the totem. So I do apologize about that, but I did end up getting a whole bunch of other stuff done. Before I reached that point, we explored a whole bunch of Akala Island, met a new character, Gladion, who will become quite important to the story later on, so make sure to remember him. And I even got my hands on a new member for my team, Smidvarg the Wishy Washy. Now, I've been doing a little bit of level grinding with good old Smidvarg. It was a pain in the rear, to be perfectly honest, but I managed to get him up to the same level as the rest of my team. So now that he's at the same level as most of my team, I'm not going to be focusing solely on him like how I focused on Thunderclap in the previous recording session. No, I'm going to be spreading my team around a little bit more evenly this time. In fact, hang on, I just want to check to see if I turned the experience share back on after I was done. Nope, I didn't. So there we are. I also taught... Hold on. The thing about Smidvarg is that he's quite slow, so he can't really avoid wild Pokemon like the rest of my team can. But as I was saying, I taught my team a couple of TMs off-screen. I taught, I believe, Acrobatics to Plague, and I taught Scald to Smidvarg. Scald is a really good move. But enough babble. It's time to conduct the trial officially. We got Lana waiting for us. She's the captain, if you haven't figured that out by now. Smidvarg's in the front of my party. He should be just fine. So let's go ahead. Cottonmouth, you've come all this way with me. That's right, didn't you notice you passed through the captain's gate by my side, which means that you will undergo my trial. To clear my trial, you must defeat the great totem Pokemon known as the Lord of the Ocean. That spray of water you can see there, that is where you will probably find the totem. And perhaps those Wishy Washy you battled against will also want their revenge. Not Smidvarg, I made him into a buddy of mine. Defeat whatever comes at you and prove your strength to me. And remember that you cannot catch any Pokemon here unless you complete my trial. So let the trial begin. Okay, so just surf out there and challenge the totem. I'm good at that. First I'm going to pick up this item. It's a Hyper Potion. Okay, so just swim out there and see what's causing all that ruckus. All that ruckus. Thunder crashed over the open sea. Lapras is trembling. There's that Monster Hunter-like music. There's always a bigger fish, am I right, guys? The fact is, this is Wishy Washy. We're fighting another Wishy Washy here, but this one is obviously quite different. You'll see why in just a second. When you get Wishy Washy up to a certain level, it becomes able to call a school of other fish to aid it in battle. And when it does, its stats skyrocket. Wishy Washy in its school form is more powerful than a pseudo-legendary Pokemon like Metagross or Hydreigon. So, with such absolutely monstrous stats, my Wishiwashi is able to go toe-to-toe to this one. See, if you don't have a grass type, then, or an electric type for that matter, I find it's quite risky to battle against this Wishiwashi because its stats are so astronomically high, it's quite intimidating. Plus it has the boost that all totem Pokemon get to their stats. So I feel that the safest way to go for me battling this totem is to use my own Wishiwashi and have a big fish battle, I suppose. So, thanks to the rainy weather, our water-type moves are actually going to be boosted and do more damage, which is really nice because water-type moves don't do much damage against other water-type anyway. However, Wishiwashi will lose its schooling ability when its health gets down to a certain point, kind of like Archeops in Defeatist. So you want to keep your Wishiwashi healthy. What I'm going to do is start out with an Aqua Ring to boost my health. Okay, it's using Water Gun. How much damage is that going to do? Not a whole lot. But I'm going to recover some of that HP back. I love how the school form Wishiwashi has a different cry. He's calling in a little Wishiwashi to assist him. I believe that thing knows Helping Hand, so it will be boosting its partner's attacks. I'm going to end up using Tearful Look. I find it's quite a useful move in this situation. Okay, that little Wishiwashi is going to be boosting its boosting its health. So Tearful Look actually decreases attack and special attack, kind of the opposite of what Growth does. It's going to go for Growl, but my Wishiwashi is actually a special attacker at the moment, doesn't have any physical attacks, so I'm not too worried. Now I'm going to start using Scald, which is a really good water-type move. So there's that Helping Hand. I love the sound effect that Scald makes. And we burned him. That's awesome. 30% chance of burning, I believe. That is really nice. But yeah, even without Scald, just use Aqua Ring, give it a Tearful Look, and then just use Brine all day long. Because Brine is a really, it's not a great move, but it's good if you don't use Scald. So I guess this is their main strategy, just boost the other guy with Helping Hand. So that the totem does even more damage. Oh, right, and it has a berry to prevent it from getting too low on health. Alright then. We're still healthy. He's gonna get burned. Oh, and look at that. The school has fled. And that means the totem is quite vulnerable. Even with that aura around him, he looks very unintimidating. So just finish him off with Brine. It helps that Brine does more damage if the opponent is below half its maximum HP. Oh, but it's not giving up. So, okay. Just a tip before I finish off this trial. Okay, level up for Smidvarg first and foremost. Those are some impressive stats right there. That's how much the school form boosts him. Like in the regular form, I believe his attack and special attack are like 23 or 24. It's absolutely pathetic. But those stats really grow when he transforms into the school form. So, okay, word of advice before I finish off the trial. Try not to hurt the little Wishy Washy he calls in, because if that little one falls, he has a chance of calling in an Alomamala instead, and it has Heal Pulse, which will actually heal up the totem and allow him to transition back into his school form. And because it has such good defenses, you're unlikely to be able to make put much of a dent in it anyway. Yeah, that's just in case you're using moves like Razor Leaf that hit both the opponents at once. Just try to keep the little one alive for as much as possible. But once the totem falls, it is not too difficult. There we go, Smidvarg coming in for the win. I also love the atmosphere for that, with like the storm clouds and the rain. It's a really good atmosphere. But now it's all cleared up. The weather is sunny once more. I must say that I find myself at an impasse here. All of the Wishiwashi that I so diligently trained up were defeated, and that is very frustrating. But of course I cannot let your completion of my trial go uncelebrated, Cottonmouth. You were amazing, truly impressive. Please take this. The third Z Crystal. You do know what this is, don't you? Watch. This is how you use the Waterium Z. That's not all I can offer you. Here, this is a Lana Original, one of my own handmade fishing rods. Excellent. Now we can go fishing for fish Pokemon. And there are quite a few rare ones you can find if you cast your rod in certain places. This is how you use my fishing rod. When you want to fish for Pokemon, look for piles of rocks in the water. Fish like to hide in the shadows there. When you see your bob dip under the water, you have a bite, but you won't for long. The Pokemon will struggle to get away, so press A as soon as you see the exclamation mark. If you want to catch any of the Pokemon you fish up for your team, I recommend Dive Balls. And just like that, she gives us 10 of them. Thank you very much. By the way, did you know I once reeled in a red Gyarados? Did you? Yeah, that's, I'm skeptical of that because we all know how rare shiny Pokemon are. Well, what do you think? You did a fine job today. Shall I see you back to the Pokemon Center on Route 5? Yes, please. I'm done here as far as everything is concerned. Good, let's be going then, and you can always do a spot of fishing later. Next is Kiawe's trial. It will take place at Wela Volcano Park. Oh, and that reminds me, did you see any Sudowoodo by Paniola Ranch? They were causing some trouble for people, so I gave them a little dose of Z-Power using my Waterium Z. Just a little lesson for them. So you nuked them, basically, because they're rock types, and they hate water. Yeah, I believe that was mentioned in, or on the ranch, how she knocked out the Sudowoodo with, the Waterium Z-Power. I can only imagine how terrifying that would look to a poor rock type. So I believe Plague and Smidvarg are both at level 23. That means the other three need to catch up pretty quickly. I'm going to have Nuru take the front slot, actually. It feels like it's been a while since we saw him. Alright, now we just go back the way we came. Have we beat all the trainers yet? No, we haven't beaten everything on Route 5 yet. We will come back to Route 5 after we're done the last of 3 trials, I believe. Hey, Sudowoodo, look what I've got. Yeah, they booked it all right. The strange trees did not attack you, but went running off toward the Battle Royal Dome. They did not attack you. Is that a reference to Gold and Silver, where you'd like water the Sudowoodo and it would leap up and attack you? That might be might just be a reference. Haha, the Sudowoodo were off like a flash once they were reminded of that Z power. Thanks. Now everyone can use the road again. Here's a little something in return for you. Mystic Water. Ooh, I can attach that to Smidvarg. Make his Scald even more OP. I wonder if maybe those Sudowoodo ran off to the Battle Royal Dome to try to get stronger. You know about the Battle Royal Dome, right? That's the place where you enter Battle Royals. Never would have guessed.